I walked toward the tree, and it was one of those barren trees. There were no leaves growing on it. And the tree represented humanity. Underneath the tree there was a cave. And I walked down into the cave and I saw ruins. There was like I remember looking and going, this is what hit my heart. This is an ancient place. There's no one been here for a long time. This is an ancient place and it's ruined. It was the heart of man. It was a ruin. In the sense that what God had ordained for us, to be creatures who belonged in the kingdom on earth, to walk in heaven on earth, it had been ruined. And the door between us and God had been closed in the Garden of Eden. Thousands of years ago. And this place beneath this tree was barren. It was dead. And the leaves upon the tree were barren and gone. There were no trees. This tree looked like you should cut it down and use it for firewood, because it had no life left upon it. But when I look to, I'm walking in this cave, all of a sudden I go like this and I go, wow! There's a door there and it's huge. It's like a beautiful door. It's like what you would call you know, in heaven St. Peter is at the pearly gate. Well, this was the pearly gate. But it wasn't so pearly, it was like more like diamonds, and it was more like rubies, and it was more like sapphires and blue stones. And I saw this magnificent light just glowing behind it. Wow. And I thought, I gotta go through that door. And I popped it open. And when I went through, well, I was completely naked. No clothes on. It was ugly, man. Come on now, I'm like on the other side of this door, and I'm completely naked. I see a hut there, and I'm like, oh, dude, give me some clothes, you know? I'm running over, and I put a sweater on. It was like, remember the sweaters back in Newfoundland, those white ones with, you know, the pattern in it? It was one of those awesome sweaters. When I was a kid, it would cost like $200 to get one of these sweaters. Had green corduroys on, you know, it was like cool. For a Newfoundlander back in the 80s, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. You know what I mean? It was like cool. Shaker knit sweater on. You got your toque on. You guys even know what a toque is around here? It's like a winter hat. Right. You know, the French influences, and we called it. That's a toque, what he's got on his head right there. We call it a toque. I have a toque on, and I'm walking through, and I'm looking cool, you know? Looking around, and all of a sudden I look up into the sky, and when I look, it's like rain and light from heaven. And I remember putting my hand up like this and go, wow! Looking at it like that. And the light comes down. It begins to go through my hand. There's other stuff I can tell you about that experience, but I want to get into the scripture. Just look at this scripture for a moment. And this is the key. If you guys want to enter into glory, this is the key. Okay. Psalm 24. Let's start at verse 3. Who may ascend into the hill of the Lord, or who may stand in his holy place? He who has clean hands and a pure heart, who's not lifted up his soul to an idol, nor sworn deceitfully. He shall receive blessing from the Lord, the righteousness from God of his salvation. This is Jacob, the generation of those who seek him, who seek your faith. Who is Jacob? Jacob is the dude, man.